Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we've got some Rockstar Games news. Grand Theft Auto 6 reportedly not going to come out this year either. It's being delayed again, they believe, and this is coming after they got into hot water with unionized employees that they fired. So we're going to talk more about that as well. So it just seems like everything's kind of coming off the rails over at Rockstar Games. So someday, eventually, we will get Grand Theft Auto 6. Maybe Half-Life 3 will come out before Grand Theft Auto 6.
I don't know.
At this rate. So we're going to talk about it before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Geeky Sparkles is sitting in on this video. She does not care about Grand Theft Auto 6.
I don't play it, sorry.
I am not
I'm for moral support.
For moral support. Yeah, so the deal is Grand Theft Auto 6 has been delayed multiple times. And everybody's like,
I know that much, yes. I know
what
that
is up with this
People
game?
are like, what the heck? I do know the basics of the situation, yes.
So this is like the fourth time I think it's been pushed back, reportedly. And
yeah,
then,
I've heard people complain about it several times. I know our son's complained about stuff like this a few times too.
Then when it comes out, they're saying that it's going to set a new precedent that the games are going to cost between $80 and $100 on average.
I did know that too. And we were like, what?
And people are going to pay it. They're going to pay it because it's Grand Theft Auto, right? Unless it's complete dog shit, which it might be, why it's not coming out until next year, next decade, who knows? So this is coming from Screen Time. Zerto, they said Grand Theft Auto 6 reportedly has Rockstar unsure if they can make the November 2026 release date.
Okay, we're talking like the end of the year and they're still not sure. I mean, I understand you have to put it in production before that to have it ready, but you know.
Oh, it's been multiple. Yeah, it's been
That's
like
what I'm saying though. They keep pushing it back and now they're talking months from now and they still aren't going to be done.
Well, okay, so this is where we're going to talk about the union because
yeah, that's where I'm here.
These things might be related, maybe not, but it is very interesting the timing of all of this. It said the content in the game is not complete. Developers are still finalizing missions and making cuts for the final game. Rockstar would rather let the release date slip than release in an incomplete state.
Well, that's understandable because other people have done that. People are pissed, especially for what they want to charge.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. Like, if you're going to charge $100 for this game, it better be the best effing game ever made, right? So an insider says that another delay is on the way and claims Rockstar is still working on missions, and they haven't even hit the debugging stage yet. So according to, let's see, this is the Button Mash podcast. This is Jason Schreier, who's a games journalist. He was looking ahead at what's in store throughout 2026. The biggest game of them all, GTA 6, looms overhead. However, he revealed new details from chatter with the alleged Rockstar Games staff. The last I heard, it was still not content complete. People are still finishing things up, finalizing levels, missions, seeing what is going to make it into the final game. They're still making stuff, and will hopefully be done with that soon and have a whole bunch of time for fixing bugs. This goes against what other insiders have claimed, so do take the comments with a grain of salt. Well, actually, Schreier is usually right. I know a lot of people on YouTube don't like him very much, but he's usually right. So if he's saying that the game is in an incomplete state, its chances are pretty good. It's not.
But it's rumor, basically, so it might not.
It's a rumor.
Okay.
So let's talk about this because this is all kind of. I'm getting a bigger.
This is where I was coming from. Was this story I sent to you earlier?
I'm getting a bigger picture here, and the bigger picture is it sounds like it's a shit show over at Rockstar Games.
Yeah, well,
all the way
shocker
around.
there.
So this is coming from Eurogamer. They said, we reiterate our firm belief that Rockstar broke the law. Union and GTA 6 maker clash again around preliminary hearing for fired workers. So in the UK, we did a video on this. They fired a bunch of people that were working on Grand Theft Auto 6. Rockstar said it was because they were leaking proprietary information, and the union claims it was because they unionized. And the truth might be somewhere in between.
Well, we just had the thing with Ubisoft, which looks really bad when they're closing down the Canada studio right after they unionized. So
yeah, this happens, and we have another debacle we'll talk here a little bit about before we wrap up the video with Nintendo. But yeah, so what seems to be going on is that a lot of these video game workers are unionizing, and as soon as they do, they are targeted for layoffs. So you make yourself, yeah, I think, or you set yourself up to be terminated because they don't want to pay you. I mean, that's the truth. The truth is they don't want to deal with the union. None of these companies do. They don't
No.
want to. And as soon as
But
Hollywood,
they're stuck with dealing with the union over here because there's a hearing.
right? But UK, I mean, it's a lot easier to unionize over there. What happened with the Ubisoft, and we talked about that in another video. It was a Canadian studio. They're working on the mobile games, but yeah, literally 2 days after they formally announced that they are unionized, they shut the whole damn studio down.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and whatever reason it might be, the way it looks does not look good. The way it looks like they shut it down because of the union.
And I'm telling you right now, when the industry is contracting and hurting, right now might not be the best time. I'm just saying.
That sounds counterintuitive. You'd think it'd be more secure to do it, but I think that this makes them like, oh crap, get rid of you quick.
Yes, because they're like, shit, we can't have these overpaid employees here. Well, in their eyes, overpaid employees. We can't have these expensive employees here indefinitely, and then we have to go through the whole hassle of having to get rid of them, and that's harder with a union. So yeah, just shut the whole thing down.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's the reality.
So they said the Independent Workers Union of Great Britain and Rockstar Games have traded more blows following a preliminary tribunal hearing this week. The IWGB asked a judge to grant the fired Grand Theft Auto 6 developers interim relief. Interim relief is a method of financial support for people awaiting a full hearing. If the motion is granted, the fired workers will go back on Rockstar's payroll, presumably until an overall outcome is reached. That doesn't happen. I don't think that happens very often here in the U.S. So, they're like, you're gone. You're going to have to fight to get your money.
And you can have a hearing, but they don't have to keep paying you.
Right. So they said in a statement issued to IGN that we hope this week's tribunal will grant urgently needed relief to the workers whose lives were turned upside down by Rockstar's brutal union busting, leaving them and their families without incomes, without secure futures, and in some cases without even the right to remain in the country. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Right to remain in the country they have made their home. So they were here on a work visa? Is that what was going on?
That's what it sounds like.
So, again, the truth might be somewhere in between. I think they might not be happy with them unionizing, so they looked for a reason to get rid of them. But also, according to Rockstar, they were leaking company secrets. And
well, if they could prove that, then that would solve the problems. But if it, because I mean, if they weren't doing it, it'd be dumb for Rockstar to say so, because it sounds like they're a lot more strict about this stuff, and they'd be like, prove it or lose it kind of thing, and that's what they're basically, they keep paying for people. So they have to keep paying for people who aren't working for them, but they have to keep paying for them. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. So that's weird. It doesn't, I don't think, I mean, again, I could be wrong. And some states, the laws might be different, but I'm pretty sure here in the U.S. that they would not.
What happens if it turns out that Rockstar was right? Do they have to give the money back?
I doubt it.
I mean, that seems kind of like,
It's kind of like, yeah, so if it turns out you're fired for cause, like, do you have to pay Rockstar? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happens. But so it said they suddenly fired 34 staff members in November of last year, 31 of them in the UK, who happened to be unionized and just happened to be. Rockstar, however, said this was not why they were fired, pointing to alleged gross misconduct. Instead, they said the fired staff shared confidential information with people outside of the company on Discord. So, again, if they are doing that, that is absolutely cause for termination.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you've signed agreements saying you wouldn't.
Yeah. And they said that we have consistently made it clear that we took necessary action against a group of individuals across the UK and Canada who discussed highly confidential information, including relating to game features from upcoming and unannounced titles in an insecure and public social channel. This was a breach of long-standing and well-understood confidentiality policies. So we regret these dismissals were necessary. However, confidentiality is fundamental to everything Rockstar Games does. Yeah, Take-Two Interactive actually sent thugs to a guy's house because he got Borderlands 3 early or something. It was crazy. They're really strict about this stuff. Global interest in our games is unparalleled. That's true. Everybody's looking at Grand Theft Auto 6. Even the smallest leak of any information relating to our products and practices can cause major commercial and creative damage, as we have seen in the past, and damage the experience of our loyal players and dedicated team. They had a leak of Grand Theft Auto 6 stuff not too long ago, and people laughed at it.
Well, I'm just sitting here if they did do it, how insulting is that? These people did something they weren't supposed to do. They leaked information and I have to still pay them. You know,
Yeah.
I'd be pissed. I mean, that's possible they didn't do anything. It was just a union thing. It's going to be basically on Rockstar to prove it. But that's going to be really shit if it turns out they did do it. Then they made them pay the money. I mean, that's insult to injury right there. Like, you got all this stuff leaked and it could cause you all kinds of problems, cost you money. But now you got to pay these people who did it.
And this is why companies are so anti-union, because not only do you have to pay them more, but there's so many labor laws now that it basically is in the favor, in a lot of countries, especially the UK, it's in the favor of the employees almost always. So it's kind of like, it's, you know, to do business, you're seeing a lot of companies pull out of countries like this or pull out of states that are, you know, make it hard. And I get both sides of it. I mean, you don't want to work for a predatory company. I get it. But a lot of times the government makes it so hard for them to operate without having to jump through all kinds of hoops for employees. Again, see also California. Why is everybody going to Texas? Why are they going to Florida? Labor laws are a lot more lax, you know. So it almost gets to a point where you can't conduct business without having to worry about pissing off any particular person in your company. And that's like, then you spend all of your time trying to appease people in your company because God forbid they complain to the media or that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And how do you get anything done? But when you're a company the size of Rockstar and you're creating some of the most popular games on the planet, it comes with the territory, right? You're making billions of dollars. You're going to have to shell some of that out just to shut people up, I guess. I don't know. But if they were sharing stuff on Discord, yeah, I mean, and they were told not to.
If they can prove it, then, you know, that would be like, ooh.
So now Nintendo's stepping in it too. So we'll cover this real quick. So this is, I'm seeing a common theme here, and I think what's going on, and again, this goes back to the previous video. I think as the industry contracts, everybody's scrambling to unionize because I think they believe they will get a better payout, or at least they'll have some severance or security or something, which if you can get it because the industry is contracting right now. But part of the reason it's contracting is they hired a lot of the wrong people for years, and they created, you know, some high budget, you know, multi-billion-dollar, you know, fiascos, hundreds of millions of dollars burnt. So this comes from Kotaku. Nintendo faces fresh labor complaints 3 years after union busting settlement. So the Mario Maker previously paid a fired contractor $26,000. Okay. So Nintendo of America is once again facing labor complaints from one or more of its workers. GameFile reports the new charges accuse the Switch 2 manufacturer of violating sections of the National Labor Relations Act dealing with worker organizing and related union activities. These come just a few years after the company sold a previous labor charge with a former tester for $26,000. So on December 17th and January 6th, they had charges filed against them. Both Nintendo and Tech Contracting Services from Tech Systems, they both listed the following alleged violations: discharge, including layoff and refusal to hire, concerted activities, retaliation, discharge, discipline. Okay, well, it's unclear what the nature of this labor dispute is over. It's not the first time a Nintendo worker has taken the company to task over its labor practices. Somebody who worked on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, who was a tester, told GameFile in 2022 they believe their contract was cut short for mentioning unionization to Doug Bowser during an online meeting. Yeah, so God, okay. You do not want to go there right now. I'm just telling you, because right now, if you even hint that you're thinking of unionizing and you know your company is not on board with you unionizing, guess who's probably getting fired? Yeah. I'm just saying. And you don't.
I'm not saying it's right. We're just saying it's the reality.
It is the reality of the situation because, again, there is a difference, I think, between tech workers unionizing and like blue collar workers unionizing. Tech workers, in a lot of cases, they unionize not just for better hours or better pay, but they also want some say in the content, and they want to kind of dictate what the company produces. And my feeling on that always has been, if you work for the widget factory but you're not comfortable making widgets, then you need to find another job.
Yeah.
Don't expect the widget factory to change for you, right? But that's not how some of these people feel, and they get gone. Even very progressive companies like Kickstarter, they pretty much gutted all their union employees because they don't want to deal with them. So I'm just telling you, I'm just saying, trying to do you a favor. we'll see how this plays out, but yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of this in the coming months. A lot of union people getting gone. Are we going to wrap it up?
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.